Hello and welcome back to the Nulyweds channel. Welcome back to Vlogmas. Today we are talking about how to get started with planning your 2022 wedding. So this is for anyone who is starting their wedding planning journey. If it happens to be 2022 or 2023 or 2024, this is where you need to start. I'm going to focus my efforts on 2022 weddings because for 2021 I feel like a lot of people have either already started planning, or if you are intending to get married in 2021, you need to do these steps really quickly, like straight away. So this should cover most people. With that in mind, there is a bonus tip at the end of this video, so stick right with me all the way to the end of the video and you'll get all of the content. So I've summed this up into 5 things that you need to essentially decide on as you start your wedding planning journey. The first one is your budget. Budgeting is really difficult. I say it all the time. It really depends on what you have and how much you are willing to spend, more so than how much the average is in that country, because asking how much weddings cost in the UK or how much weddings cost in Mexico or Portugal or Italy, you'll get a lot of varying accounts depending on who you ask. So the best thing to do initially is to figure out how much money you have to spend. And the reason that I start with the budget is because sometimes the budget that you have will dictate what you do. So for example, if you have quite a tight budget and you think it might be a little bit cheaper to go to a destination country from your own, the country that you choose may depend on your budget. In the same vein, if you have quite a lot to spend with your budget, you might be able to do something a bit more adventurous with your monies. So I would start with the budget, see where you're at financially, see what is actually affordable and doable for you, and then move on to the second thing which you need to decide, which is your time frame. So I suggest you choose a range of dates. Don't choose one date. It's such a weird thing that people do, is ask you when you're engaged, have you chosen a date? Well, no, because it depends on the availability of the suppliers and the venues that you like, right? So choose a range of dates. I suggest choose a month that you would like to get married in. So September is probably the most popular in Portugal, but August, May, April, March, choose a month, good time range, and choose whether you would be happy to get married during the week or during the weekend. If you choose a low season weddings in the northern hemisphere are November to April, and high season is May to October for most of the northern hemisphere countries. If you choose a low season wedding, you are more likely to get favourable rates. If you choose a weekday wedding, you are also more likely to get favourable rates, or at least it's more negotiable with your suppliers and your venues. The third thing to choose is location. So now you have an idea of how much you can spend, you have an idea of when you would like the wedding to happen. You can start thinking about the location, and this could be on home turf, this could be on destination turf. This is a destination wedding channel, so I suspect you could be getting married abroad, and the time of year that you intend to get married in and the budget that you have also will lead into the location choice. Because, for example, if you want to have an autumnal wedding in Portugal, then I wouldn't really suggest doing that up north. Just because the weather is more unpredictable, it's going to be slightly colder. If you're in the warmer climes towards the center and south of Portugal, then you'll probably do better in that situation, depending on what your tolerance is for weather. And fourth thing to figure out is the size of your party. So how many guests do you anticipate would come? If you've decided to get married abroad, then think of how many people will actually make the effort and the expense to go to your wedding overseas. I would say that it's best to overestimate than to underestimate, because you would be surprised at the amount of people who may actually want to come. People may feel a bit nervous, but equally there are some people that are dying to travel. The fifth and final thing to figure out when you are starting your wedding planning journey is the style. So the type of vibe that you are going for. This is a more organic thing. You'll see yourself graduate. You'll see yourself graduate. You'll see yourself. I cannot say that word. Gravitate. You will see yourself gravitate to certain styles, maybe on Instagram or Pinterest. If you started researching but you really have no idea whatsoever, it's a good idea to kind of look at the way that you dress your home and the way that you dress yourselves. Are you quite modern and fashion forward, and is everything really clean and white and crisp in your apartment? Or do you have an old country house like this, where things are quite vintage and throwback, and maybe something more country and rustic will suit you then? And now for my bonus tip for all of the people who stayed right to the end of this video. My bonus tip for 2022 planners is that you need to start as soon as you possibly can. 2020 just blew up the whole wedding industry, and 2021 is set to be one of the busiest years, or the most nerve-wracking years for most of us. I am fully booked for 2021. I'm not taking on any more work for 2021, and I'm already halfway booked for 2022. So as you can see, people are already starting to inquire, already starting to book, and it means that the suppliers and the venues that you like are already starting to lose their dates. You need to jump on it as soon as you possibly can. So that's my bonus tip for you, all the people who are starting their wedding planning journey. This is really, really exciting. I know that all of the rhetoric around wedding planning at the moment is not so fun, but I promise you, when you start getting into it, when you start planning and give yourself as much time as possible, you'll feel much more at ease. I hope you enjoyed this Vlogmas. Comment down below if you are getting married in 2022. I want to congratulate you on your engagement and know more about what you're planning to do. I love to hear those types of stories. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Bye. All ye faithful, joyful.